Michelle is a musician with albums released as Everyone Except Me and artist behind the post-apocalyptic webcomic Stray Cats. She's kind, a bit shy, and furiously creative. Henrique is a filmmaker with over 24 films and TV shows as producer, director, and occasionally host. He also released a couple of music albums. He's bombastic, larger than life, and tenacious almost to a fault. Together, they've been best friends for a decade. This show is awkward.
Are you ashamed that you may have recorded an entire episode of a show into the back of a microphone?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Well, you went to college for it.
Yeah,
So.
apparently that doesn't help so much.
So, it's the end of the year. 2019 is about to end.
Yeah.
That's 2019, right?
I don't know. I guess, right?
I'm pretty sure it is. I hate being this way, but I'm in a pretty aggressive mood. My house is getting really cold because my furnace doesn't work right now. And I'm having kind of a rare day. So I'm just going to lean into feeling kind of negative.
Okay.
And I apologize for what this does to you.
Okay.
But yeah, this has not been a great year.
Yeah.
In some ways. It's weird though. Like you know that I'm like a disgusting Pollyanna. I just always seem to find a way to be positive, especially if it's annoying to those I love. And I feel like I've probably annoyed you with being positive many times.
I mean, mostly not annoyed, but you know.
Well, I try to remember that whenever I have like a really bad year or a bad time or a bad experience, that it often, the way I recover from it kind of is positive. Well, it's always positive, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm trying to focus on, like right this second, is that, you know, this year I lost a lot of income, to, you know, the stupidity that happened with Amazon Instant Video and being basically deplatformed and stuff like that. And I had to completely replan my business model, and I almost went broke, and you know, it was a lot. But I mean, but then I'm trying to like also think about the fact that, you know, but I did other things. Like I you know, grew my physical media business, and it was surprisingly decent. And I did more conventions independently, and they were successful. And you know, and my Patreon, even though it's not like insane, it's like just teetering on $400 a month. And that's making a huge difference in my life. You know, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm fucking tired right now.
Yeah, I understand.
And I'm like really uncomfortable that we're talking about this in a way people can hear, because I don't generally like to show this side, because this side doesn't last. You know, I don't stay this upset often.
Yeah.
You know, the last time I stayed this upset for any real amount of time, you know, I got prescribed medication, and I'm nowhere near there. I mean, I don't want people to think I'm really not trying to be overly dramatic. I'm nowhere near like needing, you know, a medical professional to deal with my stress. I'm just tired. But yeah, so this year's been, you know, it's been very trying, and all I want is to have a pretty good holiday, because I could use that, and because I am obsessed with Christmas and stuff. As you painfully know. Although you like Christmas too.
Yeah. I think you probably like it more than I do, you know, but I like Christmas.
Is that because of the Judaism? Are you just not allowed to?
I mean, that's definitely in there. No, it's no. I honestly think it's like it has something to do with working retail a lot. Like, I think just something's wrong. There's just a part of me that doesn't like things now. Or also maybe because I feel like at one point I was really edgy and I wasn't supposed to like holidays and Christmas. And so it's really hard for me to be like, no, it's fine. You can like stuff.
But that takes a lot to be able to admit like that you were edgy, and that's one of the reasons you didn't like Christmas.
Yeah. I don't know how much it takes, but it's probably true. So
I've always been pretty lame for Christmas, but what really I think turned me around to just like loving it so much was I lived away from home, far from home, and that made the holidays really special because I would work all year to have like 6 days I could take off to come home. And I would come home and just be so excited to see everybody and to open presents and to give presents and yada, yada, yada. It was very, very fun.
Yeah.
And then when I moved back to Ohio, I was even more excited to celebrate because I could have like a whole month of Christmassy fun and spending time with people I care about. Because you don't know what you got till it's gone. It's like that song that I don't know who actually did it, but it was one of those 80s hair metal bands.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know which one, but they're all the same, so it's fine. But that's when I started to really get nuts for it. And then of course there was after I started not living with I don't want to like go into it like publicly, but I had a very bad living situation for about 2 years, 3 years.
I don't know, but it was a while.
It was a long time.
Yeah.
And when that ended, it just everything in life was better in every way. So all of a sudden I was like, hey, I'm throwing a Christmas party. Why? Because I want to throw a party. Shut up. I don't need your judgment. Stuff like that. No, because people, be like, why do you like Christmas so much? I'm like, because I love celebrating. And if you don't, you're weird and don't make any sense. Celebration is like the best part of existence. So, and I've always been thankful ever since. For being able to like do fun things and be able to like one of the greatest blessings ever was the few. I mean, this year has been tight financially, but I've had a few good years, and nothing made me happier than like spending like $400 on Christmas presents. Just buying everybody something really nice.
Yeah.
This year I bought nearly everybody's Christmas presents from cashing out a change jar. But I don't want that to be like pity. It's just I had a change jar. So I was like, you know what? This might be the most efficient use of this change jar is to cash it out and buy people Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And I felt so fortunate that like when I cashed it out, it was like $70 or something. And I was like, man, I could really buy like, several good presents with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I don't know if this is coming across negative or positive now.
I don't know.
Completely confused. But yeah, and I've had a lot of good things happen this year. I mean, like I did Popcorn Fodder, which I'm actually shooting an episode of today, which is, my hosting movie show, which miraculously, Michelle, you've proven your friendship because you watched every episode.
Yay. Finally, there's proof.
I just can't imagine if I didn't, do that show that you would ever have sat down and watched Driller Killer.
But that's probably true. I still like that. That was one of my favorites. So,
and that's the thing, because when you mentioned like being edgy and stuff. One thing I've always liked about you ever since we first met, 10 some years ago. One of the things I've always liked about you is that you really aren't a snob.
Thanks.
Like if you like something, you just like it.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's the truth. And I remember one of the first conversations we ever had. It was, this was like what? This would have been 2007 or 8 when we met. And it was like, we were talking about like people, how people want to eat the rich, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And your response to it was just, you were like, I don't know what their lives are like or how they live. I don't want to make any rules for them. And I was just like, whoa, coming from a punk as fuck young woman. I was just impressed. I mean, because that's just a level of empathy that is definitely not cool. It's just you.
It's
just
definitely
who you are.
not cool.
But I always appreciated that a lot. And the like when I first met you, I didn't share a lot of the stuff that I liked because I was afraid it was too lame for you. Well, no, I'm just telling you the truth, but like, since then, like I got the privilege of sitting and showing you all 7 Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Mm-hmm.
because you were captive.
Yes.
You literally couldn't do anything about it. Your shoulder was in a sling, and I was the only person washing your dishes and feeding you. So you had to do what I say or else. But no, but yeah, so it's like it's just I'm thrilled that you like Driller Killer so much. I actually thought you'd like that one because it was very like 1980s New York City flavor. Like it has that feeling of that era, but right when you could still get, horribly maimed going to the grocery store. The good old days of New York.
Yeah.
But no, you've always been very open to watching things. But I will say that all being said, would you have ever watched Driller Killer if it hadn't been on my show?
Oh yeah, no, probably not. No.
And that's like one of my favorite things about you is like why would you happen upon that? But if you do and you like it, you have no problem immediately admitting it.
Okay.
So that's just something about you that I appreciate, and I'm going to be. Apparently I this is what always happens. I start anger and then turn like really soft sentimental almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when I was doing open mics and stuff? No, it was after open mics. It was when I started playing shows a little bit. There was this event called the Rock and Roll Playdate, which was like a little bit more advanced than open mic because it had like a drummer that would play with you if you wanted them to, and it was really fun. And my buddy Jay was playing the drums there. Well, this was before I had a smartphone.
Wow.
And after I was done playing, my drummer Jay had to go home for some reason. And I was hanging out with a girl I was on a date with. And I think it was like her second date. And Jay sends me a notification that apparently the sound guy, the guy who's being paid to run sound at the thing, was talking crap about me on his Facebook.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. He said something like, fat guys with ukuleles, it's getting old, it's not funny or whatever. And I sat there the entire open mic like fuming, and this woman who did not know me very well is like, oh my God, because I'm letting out my anger, like just sitting there. So I'm literally saying to myself stuff like, I'm gonna fucking walk up to him, just spit in his face, I'm gonna punch him in the head, and then it all culminated in me walking up to him when the show was over and saying you said some mean things about me and they really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And that was what I said. And then he started apologizing and saying that, he was having a bad night and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I do have feelings.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would be kinder in that story, but it's been 10 years and that guy has just been a piece of shit. Like in every story I've ever heard about him. One of my favorite things about him, though, is that a local musician named Todd the Fox, who's brilliantly talented, Todd gave him a nickname because none of us wanted to say his real name because we just hated his guts that much. But Todd started, because Todd plays so many shows, Todd started calling him Old Deffy because every show he played, if there was no bass whatsoever, it was because that fucking guy was running the soundboard.
Right.
We're like, oh man, we got Old Deffy. No one's gonna hear our upright bass player.
Oh God.
Right. But yeah, so in typical Henrique fashion, I started being like maybe even edgy and sincerely upset. And then I turned into just kind of like appreciative and self-deprecating because that's just where I fucking exist, I guess.
Well, that's okay.
Do you remember, I think it was the first Christmas that you and I were friends, was when I was leaving New Jersey. And I one of my fondest memories of that Christmas was you playing a show at a mall.
Yeah.
Because my best memory of it is just your guitar strap let go of your guitar while you were playing.
Yeah.
And I ran in and like put it back on as fast as I could while you were standing there. I think you didn't stop playing.
No, I don't think I did either. Yeah.
Yeah. But your guitar is pretty heavy. I mean, you definitely need a strap to make that work.
Well, it's an acoustic guitar. You can't play it well standing without a strap, at least.
Well, especially not when you're, how tall are you? Like 5 something, 5 nothing?
Like 5'3".
5'3", yeah, and you weigh. I mean, you have to wear weighted boots if it's a windy day. So you needed all the help you could get with the strap and everything. But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess it hasn't been the worst year by any stretch. It's just,
it's just been hard. Yeah, I get it.
I put a lot of expectation on myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Today's a good example because I have like a million damn things to do. And yeah, I'm just tired. I went to bed last night. You'll appreciate this. I went to bed last night watching like a Hallmark or Lifetime Channel Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And I couldn't fall asleep because I got so into it.
Oh.
And I actually like at one point rolled over in my bed and was just like, this is so great. Like, I love those movies so much. It was The Flight Before Christmas.
I don't think I know that one.
Oh man, it's got the woman who played Blossom is the main character.
Yeah, I definitely don't know that one.
It's good. I mean, I didn't finish it. I did fall asleep because it was like 2 a.m, but I sat up through like 48 minutes of it. I'm gonna watch the rest, later today in my incredibly packed goddamn schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no. So that was nice. But yeah. So I mean, I'm mostly actually pretty thankful because it's like that when bad things happen, you have to look at who's helping. And that's what you should really focus on is the fact that so many people are helping and not that such a bad thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that way, I think. Is this too sad? I feel like this is way too sad.
I don't know.
So why don't you talk about something sad?
What? But what?
You're like, you got to narrow it down.
Yeah, like what sad thing would you like me to talk about?
I'll never forget. I'm just gonna reminisce about fun times we've had because that's making me happy.
Okay.
Remember when you came all the way to Ohio for my movie premiere?
Yeah.
And the movie premiere was a huge success, and that was a big deal. I hadn't had any of those yet. That was like the first one. That was like a giant success. And we went to that fancy restaurant and just mortified the couple sitting next to us.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good day.
Because we decided to play a game of what's the saddest thing you've ever eaten.
Yeah.
And I believe your winning answer was dumpster bread soup.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad.
Well, you see, your story won because not only was that really bad, but you ate like what, 5 servings of it or whatever?
Yeah, I tried to like finish the whole thing, but there was just so much. So I think after like 5 meals I was like, okay, it's been almost a week. I gotta move on.
Gotta move on with my life.
Yeah. Oh god, that was really bad. The bread itself was pretty good if I had not thrown it in whatever the hell it was I cooked it in. Tomato sauce, something.
Oh.
I don't know. I could be misremembering that, but it was gross. It was really gross.
It sounds pretty gross.
Yeah.
So, well, how since we're just kind of reflective, I mean, how was your year?
I don't know. It was really stressful, I guess that's basically how my year was. It was just basically all stress all the time. I was promoted to a different position in the thing that I work for. And that's just been really stressful.
Yeah.
And it's not like bad. It probably was better than the alternative, which was me like not working there anymore and then not having a job. I guess it's not bad at all. It's just been incredibly difficult to get everything done. And I have 2 jobs, so I've been trying to balance things, and then I have other things that I do that are not that people don't pay me for.
Like this.
Yeah, like this. That I have to like balance in my life. So it's been really stressful. So that's basically that. This is I mean, I guess what's this year? 2019 again? We already said that. Yeah. I guess this or 2018 was probably the first real year that I've kind of come out as like really a weeb, like really, really full force again. So that's been weird. That's been a weird part of my life.
Would you like to define weeb or should I? Just in case someone doesn't know.
I mean, I could kind of define it. There's not there's not a really good way to like it's meant a couple of different things since it became a word. Mm-hmm. But the best I can do is it's someone who is like I mean, it was kind of like, I think when the word originated in the community, it was like kind of supposed to be like a word for like Japanese people who were like really into Japanese culture. But now it's just kind of become like super hardcore anime fan word. And it's kind of replaced otaku.
Oh yeah.
Which was the word that we used previously. But now apparently that's like really cringy and we don't do that anymore. But weeb is also like not great either. So yeah, that's what that means, I guess.
So an anime enthusiast, but also somewhat of a Japanese culture enthusiast.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think it means that anymore. Like, we don't, like, when I hear people use it negatively, especially like not in the community, they're definitely just referring to someone who like just watches a ton of anime and is not cool. So yeah.
Remember, ramen is just weeb spaghetti.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite memes I ever saw. Well, and the meme with like, weeb meets another weeb and then they're immediately washing their hands after they shake hands.
Yes, there are tons of those. Because I found that one, I think. That was good. There are tons of those because like even within, communities of people who watch anime, like it's still not cool. At all. It's really not cool. So yeah, I was definitely going to say something else, but I don't really remember.
That's okay. You don't have to say anything else about that.
That's okay.
But it's okay. We all still like you.
No, nobody likes me.
Well, so you've been more out as a weeb, which I'm happy about because I think it's a cool thing that you're a fan of because you've introduced me to anime, or as I prefer to call it, Japanimation. But no, because you showed me ReZero about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whenever that was.
Well, I know it was in your old house, so that's how I can remember how long ago it was.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. But I really, really enjoyed it. And then you showed me Death Note. Mm-hmm. Which was awesome, which is more of like a publicly accepted great anime too. That's like, everybody seems to like it. Yeah,
in general, except like people who are too edgy to like Death Note. But,
but that's what I mean is like non-anime fans seem to really like it.
Yeah.
It's very accessible. Mm-hmm. And then you showed me the first season of Mob Psycho 100, which is awesome. And I really need to schedule a trip to visit you just to watch season 2 of Mob Psycho 100. I know I could watch it on my own. That's not the goddamn point. But I didn't have any appreciation for anime prior. I didn't realize how obsessively cinephile anime creators seem to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's one I'm totally forgetting. The one with the one.
Yeah,
Erased. Gosh, what is it called?
Erased. Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah, Erased.
Well, and that's what jogged my memory was when he would travel like back in time, they would change the cinematic style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what made me remember Erased, because prior Erased was, I guess, erased from my brain. No, that was terrible, horrible experience for everybody. 1 star Apple Podcasts. But no, I was just fascinated by like these anime makers. They have to be like serious cinema nerds. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because they're obsessed with doing things that are cinematic that don't have anything to do with what they're doing. And when I say that, I mean like things like creating depth of field or creating camera angles that don't really, that were originally invented out of necessity, but they're doing them for the sake of like the appearance, the aesthetic, which is cool. I love it. It's just as a person who operates cameras all the time, I would look at that and be like, there's no reason for that shot to be in this anime because they can just draw it the way they want it. But they're doing it because, they're referencing things, which is really, really cool. Yeah. So, you've definitely grown my appreciation for anime, monumentally.
I'm glad. I'm probably not glad. I mean, you were probably safer before. But on that note, that's only like people who are doing a good job with anime. Like I haven't shown you, I don't think, I mean, ReZero is like really well liked, but also like, I don't know if people like think it's like a classic or it's going to go in that direction. But in general, I've showed you things that like I think are done super, super well. I haven't been like, here's this random thing that I'm watching this week that like, I don't even know if I like it. And it's really boring. And they're having trouble animating these characters, even though it's called anime. And they don't seem to know how to make people move.
I mean, you're saying, preaching to the choir. I don't suggest you watch every horror movie I put on my TV every week. And some of them, your mileage may vary. That's why I showed you Nightmare on Elm Street, in order. So that by the time you were watching Nightmare on Elm Street 5, you had a foundation.
That's kind of I kind of want to show you Tenga Toppa Gurren Lagann, because like it's like, I think it's great, but it has a bunch of episodes that are like, why is this an episode? Why would you do this? But I think you're at a point now that like I could just show them to you and be like, this is why this is bad. I don't know why they did this, but it's still a great anime.
Well, no, that sounds good to me, because I as I get older, the more I realize I like to pontificate about why I actually like things. I guess that's part of getting older or something. Who cares? So you've come out more as a weeb this year. You've taken on more responsibilities at your main job.
Yeah.
And I know that's been very stressful. Obviously, we've talked about it a lot, just, in general.
Yeah.
But some other positives, you love your house, right?
Yeah. It's doing its thing. It's being a house.
This is your second year there, right?
Yeah. This will be in January. I will have been here for 2 years. So
yeah, and you like that house a lot.
Yeah, I do. It's a good house, I guess, probably. Until something happens, it's not good. So
I mean, I like that house a lot. So
thanks.
And you just got siding put on it, which was a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, but that's done, and I still don't have any light at the back of my house, so I won't tell you where I live, so please don't come and break in.
Well, you have an attack cat.
Yeah, she'll attack you. Don't
break in.
Don't break
please.
in. She's gonna get you.
Is there anything else that has been on your mind a lot? Just I don't know if you get this way. I get like really weird, like when the year's ending.
Yeah.
Not necessarily depressed. It depends. But I do start to reflect pretty hard.
Yeah, I don't think I do that as much. And I'm seeing people do that kind of on social media. Like they're starting to post like, or especially since we're like, it's next year is a new decade, I guess. So people are like, here's what I was doing at the beginning of the decade. Here's what I'm doing now. That kind of stuff. Like I don't do that as much. I just don't really want to. Honestly.
I don't want to think about 2009 because that was arguably the worst year of my life.
Yeah, that was a hard year.
So, yeah, shit.
Well, there you go.
But you know what? I think we need to take a second to be truly thankful of one thing and one thing only. And that is that this year is not an election year.
But isn't that coming up?
Yeah, but we're talking about this year, not next year.
But didn't it still feel like an election year?
I have a feeling next year is going to feel way more like one because it is one.
Yeah, I guess.
So do not spoil my joy over the fact that at least we didn't have the election this December or November.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. At least there's that.
That's true. But then we can look forward to it next year.
I will not be looking forward to it. I think I'm going to save up all my pennies, and next year on election day, I'm going to get us a cabin in the middle of the woods.
Okay.
And we're just going to go there. You can bring gigs.
Okay.
And she probably won't like that.
No, she will. She won't like driving, but she won't mind being in a new place.
Oh, I didn't think she would mind. I figured I was mostly referring to the trip.
Okay, well then we have to go somewhere near me, I guess.
We could put up a tent in your backyard, we could just use your shed.
Okay, or my basement, and we can just pretend.
Ooh, imagination. I love using my imagination. But no, overall, I think it has actually been a pretty okay year.
Good.
It's been a good year. Definitely the second half has been really good. in comparison.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything that you're hoping to do next year?
No, I don't know. I
know you're not big on stuff like that. I'm just
I try really hard not to set because I really don't know what's going to happen with anything right now. I'd like to have less jobs. So I'm going to try to do that. Have less jobs next year. And I'd like to tour, but again, like, I'm just not sure what's going to happen towards the end of the year. So we'll see.
Well, you had to take a little break from it when you bought the house, just to get yourself equalized.
Yeah, but there were other reasons. So we'll see if I can figure out how I can sleep in places and not get bed bugs. So if I can't, it can't happen.
Well, you can definitely sleep here, and we don't have bed bugs.
Okay. So it'll be one place. Got it.
Well, and the dogs would really like to meet you.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. That's a big blessing this year, was adopting Chicano.
Yeah, that was this year.
Yeah, in April.
Wow.
I haven't even had him that long.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a great dog. He's sweet, and I cuddled him. Yesterday, he cuddled me so hard on the couch that I was struggling not to pee myself because he wouldn't let me up.
I know what that's like. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I guess what we're really doing right now is calling it quits on 2019.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine with me.
Well, I do want to say one thing is, I'm really thankful for your friendship.
I'm thankful for your friendship too, and I still think that you could find a better friend.
But I know you always say that, but I just really am. You've been a good friend to me through an incredible amount of times, and just realizing that it's been 10 years since 2009, which was like such a terrible year, and you were there for me so much. You've not only been my acquaintance for 10 years, you've been like my best friend on the planet for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I just really want you to know how much I appreciate it, and how much I enjoy doing the show with you. I actually really, really enjoy it. I'm having like a really bad day at the end of a really bad string of luck.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up really enjoying sitting down with you today and talking.
Good.
And I was like, right before we started, I was like a dick hair away from saying, no, we'll just do this next week. I'm just going to go lay down or something. But I'm glad we did it, even though this is weird. But you know what? This show, we did not start doing this show to be normal. I
guess. Yeah.
So it was not so that this could be average and identifiable by everybody. So,
yeah.
But no, I am thankful of your friendship, and I'm thankful that you agreed somehow to do this show with me.
Well, I'm really thankful for your friendship too. You don't have to. So if you want to stop anytime, it's okay. I understand.
Maybe next year if you try hard.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for listening. You can email us at thisshowисawkward@gmail.com or go to awkwardshow.com or whatever. See you next time.